Good afternoon. This is Media Center, Ukraine, Odesa. We continue our working day. Our current speaker is Nataliya Humenyuk, Chief of the Joint Coordination Press Office of the Security and Defense Forces in the south of Ukraine. Good afternoon, Natalia. Could you share more details about the overnight shelling of the city? Glory to Ukraine. Today, we had the attack by missiles and UAVs. That was a massive attack using different types of weapons. The enemy tries to put as many pressure as possible, and the enemy has specific plans because attacks are focused to destroy the southern regions. Including those facilities that could be involved in the Green Deal. And as it is known, Russians do not want to prolong it. Overnight, they use different types of missiles. They used strategic airplanes, the sea-launched missiles, and they even involved one more missile carrier that was still in the harbor and threatening, endangering its own ships. We also used UAVs. And they used to have another approach, different waves during attacks, but now all these waves were simultaneous. They also used the coastline missile complex Bastion, which is located on the temporarily occupied territory of Crimea, and the old Onyx rockets as well. Such missiles as Onyx, Ha-22 are very difficult when it comes to air defense activities, and usually they miss. They strike the target. They also used Ha-59 missile, and this missile was shot down, and it just fell down in the city. And there was the crater, and the blast wave damaged a lot of houses, including block of flats. The result of the air combat, which was quite intensive because 10 UAVs were destroyed, including 8 over Odesa and 12 caliber missiles. This also affects the residential complexes of Odessa and the suburbs of the city, where blast waves damaged houses, destroyed windows there, and also some business facilities were damaged. At the moment, we know about 10 casualties in total as a result of this complex attack, including 9-year-old boy. You say that they were simultaneous attacks, and we also experienced that since 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. What was new for our air defense forces? What novelties did the enemy apply to attack port facilities? They used the missiles, which is very difficult to detect and shoot down, like Ha-22 and Onyx. And they launch those missiles, those rockets, simultaneously, following the same route as calibers. So they launched it simultaneously with calibers, and then we lost you. We could speak here about the elements and new tactics, or an attempt to find new tactics to just work around our air defense systems. What is the missile threat today, tomorrow? Despite the fact that the ships which are now in the open sea do not include missile carriers, but taken into consideration today when they just used ship in harbor, we should of course say that there could be a possible attack without having missile carriers in the open sea. And they also can use the strategic airplanes, the coastline missile complexes, suicide drones like Shaheds. So our enemy can use again such tactics. And the last question, what is the condition of those 10 casualties? And as far as I understand, you mean our civilians. Yes, these are civilians that were injured by debris, that was the pieces of glass or the pieces of other items as a result of the blast wave. And this again, once again, that during an air alert, people should go to the shelter or at least use the rule of two walls. A lot of injured people were near windows or just were in their beds near windows, do not realizing the full danger. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us today online, and hopefully you will be with us here with more positive news for Odesa and Ukraine. Thank you. That was the briefing of Nataliya Humenyuk, Chief of the Joint Coordination Press Office of the Security and Defense Forces in the south of Ukraine. And in a couple of minutes, we will have one more briefing that will be dedicated to the progress of the Ministry of Health's missiles vaccination campaign in Odesa region. Stay tuned.